Well, the numbers are out, and July saw the highest number of speeding tickets issued this year. Tyler McMurtry joins us now from SGI to talk us through the numbers. So, Tyler, over 5,000 speeding tickets were issued in July in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and that the number of speeders that we saw in July represents actually the highest number reported in a single month so far this year. It's not the highest ever. It's not the highest we've ever seen. I mean, there are months in the history of the traffic safety spotlight where we've seen in excess of 7,000 speeders caught by police in a single month. But still, when you think about the idea that there were more than 5,300, nearly 5,400 speeders caught, in a single month, which I think works out to, a speeder caught roughly every 8 minutes on average
Crazy.
over the course of the month. That's a healthy number of speeders, and we really want to remind people that speeding can be an unhealthy habit. It's certainly unhealthy for your pocketbook if you get caught and you have to pay one of those hefty fines, or it can be unhealthy for you or other road users if that speeding results in a collision.
Now, Tyler, drivers weren't just speeding in Saskatchewan last month. Can you talk us through some of the other numbers?
Yeah, I mean, we saw 739 tickets for distracted driving reported by Saskatchewan law enforcement over the course of July, and that includes 621 drivers using their cell phones. We've talked about this on a number of occasions, Jace, about how uh, the act of distracted driving, being inattentive or distracted while you're behind the wheel, very dangerous. It's the leading cause of collisions in Saskatchewan, actually, and one of the leading causes of injuries and fatalities as well, resulting from those collisions. So it's something that the justice system takes very seriously, with that $580 fine for a first offense and four demerits, and escalating penalties for repeat offenses as well. So we had seen in June a very high number, much higher number of distracted driving offenses. So it's down from June, but that's 739 tickets for distracted driving. Given how much we talk about this, given how much attention is paid to the dangers of distracted driving, it's still higher than we'd like to see. And it's also a good reminder that enforcement of distracted driving remains very strong by Saskatchewan law enforcement, because they also know how dangerous it is.
And there's still a little bit of summer left. We have the Labor Day long weekend right around the corner, and that's a time when drivers may be seeing more law enforcement officers out on the roads.
That's an excellent point. And while traffic enforcement is strong year round, every day of the week, and these numbers kind of reflect that, uh, law enforcement do understand that roads are a little bit busier during the long weekends, and they do pay attention to drivers who aren't paying attention to the act of driving or to how fast they're going. Those are the kind of things that police will be looking out for.
And of course, with summer coming to a close, that means we're getting into that back to school season, and school zones and crosswalks are going to be seeing a lot more activity. And that's something for drivers to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, school is fast approaching. I mean, in our household, we've already done the back to school shopping, so it's starting to feel very real, and it will feel especially real, following the Labor Day weekend, when kids are back in school in pretty much everywhere in Saskatchewan. Those school zones are going to be busy places. Uh, Now, school zones vary from municipality to municipality in terms of the times of enforcement and even the speed limits, but they do generally have reduced speed limits. They do have increased fines for breaking those speed limits as well. For example, 20 kilometers per hour over the limit in a school zone in Saskatchewan will cost you $310 ticket, and of course that the cost of those tickets escalates as you accelerate, we like to say. So really good idea to pay attention to your speed, pay attention to the road, so remaining undistracted as you are heading into the school zones. They're going to be busy places. Kids are going to be excited. They might not always do what they're supposed to, cross at crosswalks, or they might dart out from parked car between parked cars, that sort of thing. That's why it's so important to slow down, so important to watch out for those kids and keep them safe. And when it comes to school zones, a couple of other tips to bear in mind: not clogging up those school zones, being aware of where the no parking zones generally in front of the school zones are, so you're not reducing the visibility for pedestrians that are crossing, paying attention to crossing guards or traffic signals that tell motorists what to do, watching out for jaywalkers, of course, being aware of loading and unloading zones for school buses, because school kids are very safe when they're on school buses, but when they're off the school buses, that's when the risk from other motorists comes. So those are some of the things that you definitely want to keep in mind. don't pull U-turns in school zones. Many municipalities have bylaws against it. But even if yours doesn't, it's not a practice that we recommend because it can reduce the visibility